You've really mastered the other parts of your gameplay, I suppose. Because I promise this is not meant to be flame at all. I'm just like genuinely, I'm like, how are like it's almost like it's almost like I'm trying to like, do I need to rethink something? So I'm like, how are you not using like the main mechanic your character is built around and not really pressuring and like somehow you beat the Siegfried, don't you? I can't. I feel like I'm in a fugue state. I can't remember how it happens. I'm not even trying to say it as like you're so shit. How'd you win? I'm like literally, how did you like science cannot explain. I mean, I guess yeah, like you get a lot of hits in neutral, right? You get a lot of hits in neutral, and that works out for you. This chip kill wins all of them, chip them to death on block for 90 seconds. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. But like, my point is, I don't mean to have like a negative tilt to this. My point is, if you've gotten to S++ doing this, right, you gotta hit master tomorrow. Like if you start using stance and like actually pressuring people, you're gonna be like grandmaster by Friday. All right, folks. We are back. More Gran Blue Fantasy vs Rising. More replay review. Yuel replay from the Asia server, from the Chinese super server. They got Otacon. They got Voracious Otacon a week in advance. Those Oh, I probably shouldn't swear that early in the video, actually. Good thing I caught myself. Gonna get demonetized. But, hello. I'm looking for some advice to improve and hopefully bring Yuel to master someday in the future. Granathan, thanks. Okay, sure. Let's see how this goes. Yuel, oh boy. I gotta stick to higher level fundamentals on this one because I don't know how to play Yuel. I don't know how she works at all. That's when people like looking at her feet. Versus Siegfried, huh? Alright, so as usual with the Hall of Fred, so true. It's a Yuel, yep. Steals your La Yuel. Generally though, high level, right, again, with replay reviews, as always. When you get hit, when you lose your turn, these are great times to pause and analyze. If you can't organically find where like you might be making mistakes, that's a great, where there's smoke, there's fire. If you're getting hit a bunch, if you're losing your turn all the time, if you're never on offense, something's going wrong. You can try and diagnose it from there. Also, as far as like a layer 1 way to look at your matchups, aggressor, defender, all of this good stuff, right? And like who is trying to maintain space, who's trying to close space? That's pretty obvious, right? I mean, Siegfried is kind of slow-ish. And also, he's got really good big buttons to poke you out with. He gets a lot of damage. If he counter pokes you, gets a counter hit or something. So, and you are essentially a character that is worthless from full screen and has like real 50-50 mix once you get on top of someone. So, this is very much like Siegfried trying to keep you out, you trying to run on top of him, right? So, and you should play accordingly. You have to try and like get around his pokes and kill him. Sure. Isn't that unsafe? Goddamn, that looks pretty cool. DPs do have a DP attack level of their own, right? So like they do clash with each other just like that, as you can see. That was a pretty cool way to start the set, not gonna lie to you. I'm a big fan of that. Putting yourself in the corner there is definitely not ideal, but it's fine. Ooh, I think you tried a 2H right there. It's a bit late. Okay. I mean, so far, you've been losing this round to basically Rage Strike, so we'll see if that continues. You're ending your pressure in that. I don't think that's what you quite want to do, right? That's the biggest thing I'm noticing right now is like you don't have any actual pressure. You're not doing anything, right? You're just always doing auto combo into like safe but minus on block. Starlit Sky, is that what it's called? Starlit Sky. Starlit Sky. That's not pressure. There's just like a 0% chance of that opening anyone up. All right, so I think that's like the big thing is that, and like maybe like so far some Raging Strike drills, but okay, sure. Starlit Sky. You actually be able to do the 7-frame Siegfried Orkin OS? Oh, so true. I didn't realize she had a 7-frame option there. Is it a 2M or a 2S? Or a 2U, rather? Okay. Yeah, I really do. This is the big... Okay. There's one thing I want... Yeah, he should throw you there. You're safe there. What happened? Wait, punish? Wait, really? Wait, what did you do? Aren't you -4 here? Oh, so this was -4 point blank. Which this basically is. Oh, you tried to jab him after. Ah, you're minus on block there, aren't you? Because a couple things happen. I'm pretty sure you're minus, and you mashed on your minus frames. Then he also supered you out of it. You also have to pretend that's plus, yeah. I mean, he probably shouldn't have supered on block because like you're minus. Maybe he doesn't know either. That's fair. So I'm definitely. I don't know if 2U as well. Okay. Yeah, the big thing right now. Oh my Jesus Christ. that super is so funny because all the damage is in one hit. Like a lot of SBAs do like a lot of damage over time. It's like a long animation, whatever, right? It's like it feels more reasonable. But the fact this is like it basically immediately it all happens. Like you take a little bit from the stab and then it all happens at once. It just always looks so funny, you know? It's like Jesus. Okay, I like it. I like it. I already know like the big thing I'm going to talk about at the end of this though. I think it's already happened like 7 times and it's just not okay. Okay, sure. Interesting. A little reset there. Yeah, Siegfried's sweep is very big and very fast. You got to be careful. Siegfried actually using 5U. Who would have thought? Yeah, I think, okay, that's the other thing, too, right? We got to talk about that a little bit, too, because that's being a bit of a problem. If you lose the set, that's a big part of why. Yeah, you can't, if you can OS that with 2M, you definitely should. I guess the thing we're talking about there is, if you have a 7-frame 2M or 2U, when Siegfried does Orkin, you can just hit that button, and if 7-frame or faster, 6, 5 obviously are better, right? But, you just hit that button, and if Siegfried does anything but parry, he gets counter hits. Or if he just does Orkin into nothing, he gets punished, right? But if Siegfried does parry, then it's not even that bad, right? Is there not stance Oki off 623M air hits like that? I've seen the funny overhead. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Because they don't. The biggest problem here is their pressure, right? Their pressure is just very not real, so they never get a knockdown, almost really, and then they don't. And even when they do, though, you're right. They haven't gone into stance once, which is certainly interesting. Let's see. I'm curious if this pattern continues against Cloudy's master rank. Good old loading. I'm in a video where I can skip the loading. Holy shit, I'm so stupid. I was like, I'm like, man, can't wait for this loading to be over. Yeah, it's not real. It's not real. I can skip it. Yeah, this is so bad. I'm sorry. It's okay. You just don't know. But like, I'm just like, this is the big problem here. It's like, this doesn't do anything, man. I mean, you try at least there you went for the parry. That actually does something, right? Like that actually does, like, minus frames to parry. That's fake. You shouldn't do that like as a layer 1. But like, at least that actually does something as a pressure option, right? I think I've seen them in stance at all, which is like, please do it. Yeah. Is the thing that makes your character a character. Okay, sure. This didn't react to the clutch. It's totally fine. Try to stance once before immediately hit. Ah. Maybe that like accidentally like conditioned them off their strong option or something. Could be the case. Happens sometimes. Damn, optimal. So, I mean, I will say, if he's just like swinging far H's out like this, he's got a lot of recovery here, right? I guess you don't expect him to do it like you know, the first time, sure. The second time, sure. The third time, you can maybe look out for it. The fourth time, you know, I gotta see like, we're talking S++5 here, right? So I gotta see like a little bit of whiff punishing going on that. I think it's weird though. It could totally happen. Like you get caught off guard here, but like, you know, on the third or fourth far H, you gotta be like far Hing him back or something. I think you can't keep getting away with this. He simply can't. It's got a lot of whiff. That's like a 35 frame whiff recovery, or not like total frames, I guess. Okay, sure. Pretty nasty staggers from the Gran there. Make you a little bit second guess yourself a bit. Good old Yuel mid screen. That famous Yuel damage that she does like so little of. That JU hit meaty as fuck. God damn. Oh. Okay, good bait on the DP. He's dead here, right? Oh, I think you could have Raging Strike, Raging Chained him here, and maybe, I don't know what Yuel's mid-screen looks like, but like, he's got no Brave points. Surely you can like auto-combo Raging Strike, Raging Chain, auto-combo, and then do this, and like maybe even get the wall bounce off that and kill him, right? I should 100% been stance after the 236M knockdown. Yeah, you're not using, I guess that's, I didn't realize that, but you guys are making a good point. That's like the other really big thing to talk about, certainly, right? There just like isn't any use of the stance, the 5U, I think it is, right? It's 5U for her. I have to imagine, anyway. Like, literally, I've never held a controller in my hands and picked Yuel, so I couldn't tell you. But I assume it's 5U is the input to go into it, since it's the unique thing about her. Sure. Good old Gran 2M doing work. Look, I definitely, I'm just like looking out to see if anything else pops up, but like there are three like very important points to improve on right now already. So I have enough to talk about at this point. I'm just trying to see if anything else of note comes up. Also, I realized it's like Neapolitan Gran, bro. Ruby reference in my Gran Blue Fantasy vs Rising. Ruby fighting game when Arxis. It worked so well in BB Tag. Just keep it up. Full fighting game for the franchise. Okay, sure.
Get grabbed, comma, nerd.
Oh, pineapples cast? So true. Green square UL steals your La Yuel. So true. If I'd done a 6-7 punish on block DP, she gets a good punish because it forces crouch. 6-6H, right? Her little tail smack? Is that her 6-6M? That's not her 6-6M. I thought it was her 6-6H. POV steals your La Yuel. See a lot of close M to enforce plus frames after 2 and 4H. Using L buttons there gives you better pressure. Hey, the problem, the pressure in general just like isn't really there, right? It's one of the big things. It is 6-6H, yeah. The big like tail smack. Sumac. Sumashi. Yeah, 6M is the low move. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Where do the jets come from? I've always wondered. You know? Like, on it, like, yeah, where the fuck? Why does she have rocket jets? How'd she do that? Is that like a thing women can do? Okay, sure. Ow. Can all women do this? Can all women grow flaming jets out of their back and charge forth? I do wonder sometimes. Bum 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 bum. Super jump, so true. I'm gonna speed this up, just because like I want to see again. I have my idea. I just want to see if anything else pops up. You know. The combos seem like fine. I think you are like resetting into like what feels like Oki a lot of the time. Just not going into stance, right? Like you're like ending your combos earlier for Oki and then like not going into like the optimal Oki stuff for yourself. Oh, sure. Good old auto combo overhead. Love to see it. Yeah, backflip after that is not necessarily going to be safe, right? Because like you're pretty minus and you're pretty close to them as well, so it's kind of the worst of both worlds. I thought Asians. I would assume that everyone in Asia would have been like super cracked. I thought everyone in Asia would have been like super cracked, you know, like S+ there looks like master rank here or something. But the big thing I'd say, the big thing so three big things that stand out to me. Enough so that I feel like it's not even really worth talking about any like smaller minutia. Stereotyping I see, they're good at fight. I thought, you know, they got more fighting game culture over there. I thought, yeah, than we do here is the big thing. I guess when I think Asia, a lot of the times, I guess I'm thinking like China and Japan. That's not necessarily true. Could be somewhere else. That, you know, just because that's two very major countries. But so three big things stand out to me. Enough so that I feel like it's not even really worth talking about any like smaller, minute things that you could improve. And in some particular order, in the order I think of how maybe egregious they are, I suppose. All the time in Asia, it's either or, but mostly high rank is crazy. Interesting. So, one, you just don't use stance at all, right? Which is certainly very, this is not a super good, because like stance is the thing that makes you a character, right? If only while I'm Asian, by the way, so true. Stance is kind of the thing that like makes you a character. It's like a Lodiva not using command grab, or like a Vasaraga not going to Soulforge, or a Grimnir not doing seal dashes, right? or a Belial not being the best in the game at everything, or Lucilius not caring about blade level, or whatever, right? So like it's very odd to play. You didn't go into stance. You tried to parry a guy once, and you tried to go into it and got hit out of it immediately another time, right? Like you didn't go into stance on offense like almost ever. So that certainly feels like something's up there. Use stance more and like learn how the Oki works around it, like the 50-50 regarding the high-low and stuff like that. Feels very important for this character, right? But on a more makes sense not to bother about stance below S rank, but you definitely keep using it above S+. Yeah, we're talking about S++ here, right? S++ 5. I'm honestly a little bit, I'm almost impressed. I don't mean this to be like rude at all. I'm like genuinely curious, like how you got to S++ 5 without using stance and without really, because like you could be like, okay, well I'm not using stance, but it's fine because I have like really strong pressure, right? So I kind of like I substitute stance for the pressure. But like the second thing I want to talk about, and maybe even probably more important than not using your stance really, is that like you don't really have pressure, like at all. Like every time you got a turn, it was auto combo into. If I just go somewhere random here, I'll probably find it relatively quickly, right? Somewhere random where it's your, yeah, right here, right? Exactly. Almost every turn you have, I think, is this, right? Auto combo into Light Starlit Sky. This doesn't do anything, right? Like this, it doesn't even give you space, really, right? This does like a little bit of chip damage to your opponent that leaves you minus on block. And like, I guess you're trying to like, I do notice you're trying to like RPS off of it sometimes, where like you go like auto combo into minus frames, right, off the Starlit Sky, and you try to like parry a guy once, try to backflip your way out of something once, but like those are all gimmicks essentially, right? The proper, not proper, I guess, but like the basic offensive structure in this game at the very least is like you do plus frame, aka like a 6XL or a close L or like any unique plus frame move that you have as a character or whatever, right? You do plus frame into either another plus frame, a stagger, to like reset to keep your turn going forever if they're too patient, right? Or into a throw to make them not want to block, right? Staggers make them want to mash, throws make them not want to block, frame traps make them want to block, and throw baits make them not want to throw tech, right? So it's plus frame into either another plus frame, into a throw, into a frame trap, or into a throw tech bait. A throw baits kind of, but technically we call them throw baits. It's technically a throw tech bait, but yes, yeah. I guess technically it's both, but it's fine. But yeah, so one of those four, right? The reason that those are good and what you're doing is not super good, I think, is because you'll notice that a lot of those options, like one of them incentivizes you to do something, and then another one of them punishes you for doing something, right? Staggers make you want to mash. If you don't mash on a stagger, the opponent's turn will go forever. You can just go close L, close L, close L, close L, 6XL, 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 6XL. If you don't mash on that, their turn is infinite, right? And frame traps kill you for mashing, right? Throws make you want to block, or not want to block, sorry, right? And they make you want to throw tech, either by mashing or by hitting the throw button. And then throw tech baits kill you for throw teching and not just sitting there and blocking, right? And in fact are beaten by blocking a lot of the time. So those are synergistic, and when you guess right on any of those, you get like reward off of them, right? Namely, if you get a frame trap, those are the biggest reward. You get like your big counter hit close H starter, and you fucking do the max damage your character can do, right? If you get a throw, you get Oki, like you get some damage and it loops back into itself, which is great. They're back in the same situation, right? If you get a throw baits, that's also usually some of your highest damage you'll ever get. And if you get a stagger, there's not a lot of reward there, but you just like get to be on offense forever, right? So there's a lot of reward to them, and they synergize. That's kind of the basic idea of why that's the level 1 good offense, right? Now, if we compare that to what you're doing auto combo into the Starlit Sky, right? So say that, when it's the only option, if you're even with like the good offense, if you're only doing one option, it's gonna be bad, right? Because like if you're only ever frame trapping, they're just gonna stop mashing eventually, and then like when you do your close H or minus, and it's their turn, and you lose, right? So you're only doing one thing, pretty much. You're doing auto combo into the light ender there. So once they learn to block it, they just block it. And two, even hypothetically, the best case scenario for this is they like mash on the auto combo, and you get auto combo to Starlit Sky, and that's like good, I guess. But like, why are they just, like why are they doing that in the first place? And it ends your turn immediately. Like there's no it's like pretty decently high risk, because like you're just ending your turn with a minus on block move, and then doing some like, trying to like trick them in their face, and it's like no reward, right? Like you can't. It's simply impossible. In fact, even if they wanted to mash on the auto combo, they can't. It's a block string, right? And then I think there's a gap here. It looks like, yeah, he stood up. There's a gap there. So they could mash on that. But like if they do what, they take 800 damage or something, right? And they take 800 damage, and you don't even get Oki, right? There's no gap between this and this, between the auto combo and the Starlit the Starlit Sky. Is that true? Starlit Sky's gaps off everything? Oh well, I mean, okay. In which case, so even if he wanted to, if he really desperately wanted to lose and mash on this, he can't, right? So it is impossible for this pressure sequence to open anyone up, right? So it just doesn't. All it does is end your turn. It's not fair. It does one, in this case, for example, it does one other thing, right? Which is you're in the corner here, and it pushes you towards the mid screen. Like, unironically, it builds you like a decent amount of screen space, which is fair. But like, it's just not pressure at all. And you do this almost every single time you get a turn, right? So this is just, this is the truth. Like, if you're not using stance, and this is what your sort of like block string pressure on offense looks like, I'm like, something you're doing must be fucking amazing. Because I genuinely have no idea how, like even I don't even remember how you win the games that you win. Honestly, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even remember how you win the games. I think it's people just smashing on you, right? I can't remember because I'm like I don't understand where you find your hits on people, right? I think all of it's in neutral. I think you do find a lot of hits in neutral and stuff. But like, you just like don't have offense essentially, right? Is the big thing. And by the way, this is like the best thing you do off this, which is like you go like auto combo, Starlit Sky, then you do backflip, and like from here you can get like plus frames or like the low or something. This is the kind of thing that people aren't doing this for some reason. Like, if you're this close, someone did it to you once actually in this replay review. They can just like run at, they can 6XL you here, right? Pretty low committal because you're minus, right? How minus exactly, actually? How minus are you off Light Starlit Sky or Far H? Depends on the character, but 6XL is a easier, safer option. And if you block it, they're plus as well, right? Even if you do manage to do so somehow. Like, how minus are you off Yuel, off the Light Starlit Sky? -3, right? So like, you could, in theory, if you mashed, you could trade with their 6XL, because you with your 6-frame Far L, right? But like, you know, they can just like 6XL and get a full combo on you for doing that backflip. You could like backflip into the stance and parry, but like, no, it's like an actual punish. I think like they'll get you during the backflip animation before you can go into the stance. So like, this is like the best, the most. This is how you got all your wins actually, right? But like, this is not real. Like, this is also, people can punish this quite easily, and if you only ever do this, people will punish this, right? But like, not the people only one person in this video did so, I think, right? So like, those two things are already just like so huge. I feel like it's not even. I'm generally impressed, but like like that, like, you know, you've really mastered the other parts of your gameplay, I suppose. Because I promise this is not meant to be flame at all. I'm just like genuinely, I'm like, how are, like, it's almost like it's almost like I'm trying to like, do I need to rethink something? Because I'm like, how are you not using like the main mechanic your character is built around and not really pressuring and like somehow you beat the Siegfried, don't you? I feel like I'm in a fugue state. I can't remember how it happens. I'm not even trying to say it as like you're so shit, how'd you win? I'm like, literally, how did you, like, you know, science cannot explain. I mean, I guess, yeah, like, you get a lot of hits in neutral, right? You get a lot of hits in neutral, and that works out for you. It's chip kill wins all of them, chip them to death on block for 90 seconds. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. But like, my point is, I don't mean to have like a negative tilt to this. My point is, if you've gotten to S++ doing this, right, you're gonna hit master tomorrow. Like, if you start using stance and like actually pressuring people, you're gonna be like Grandmaster by Friday. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what the fuck you're doing, but it's magical, right? And if you've gotten this far without like basically playing your character, right? Like, if you like start using stance and start like running actual offense, you're gonna be Grandmaster like tomorrow. Something in you is a fucking prodigal son, you know? The third thing, which is not as important, is just like, you know, if you're having a lot of trouble reacting to Raging Strike, which I do believe you get hit by a bunch in this one, you can always like, it's tough to train reactions like normally, organically, but you can always just like go into training mode and have like a dummy do, you know, they run up and do 6XL or run up and do like a, you know, some other thing. Maybe you want to train multiple reactions at once. Like, for now, you can like run up and block or run up and Raging Strike, right? And if they don't Raging Strike, don't spot dodge. If they do Raging Strike, spot dodge. And like, you can have the dummy alternate between the two, like record two things and have it be like, it alternates between the two at like some ratio, 50-50 or something, right? That can help you just like train a muscle memory that when you see the little sheen, when you hear the sounds for Raging Strike, you spot dodge and you're good, right? But yeah, that's not as important. It's definitely like, probably, in order, probably, you know, do pressure and 2, use stance, and 3, try to train your raging strike reactions, right? Me when the bomb goes off in my house and the fire department says I should have reacted, you know, it's a fucking it's got a 900 frame fuse startup, man. It's kind of a skill issue on your part. But yeah, again, I don't mean this to be like negative at all. I'm just like genuinely the thought that I had in my head the entire time here is I'm like, how is this happening? Like how are like how. Yeah, like that's why I brought up the thing about like are people in Asia just like not as good at Grand Blue or something. I'm not even saying that. Like, I promise you, I can't phrase it honestly enough that all of these are genuine questions and not flame. Because I'm like, bro, I couldn't get the fucking S++ doing this. Maybe it's a Yuel diff. Maybe like they're just a god. I don't know. Maybe they're a neutral god. I don't know. Like my ass could not get to S++ on any character. I think, like, ending all of my turns for free and not using my like unique mechanic. I don't think that'll be like a really fun challenge. I don't think my ass could do it, right? So that's why I've been like, but I generally don't mean that. Duel Discord probably has all kinds of info on how to do unfair offense. Yeah, I guess it probably is just like I guess the people just aren't stopping the backflip thing. Is that like this the answer to my question? People just aren't doing anything about minus frames into backflip, right? Like it's not even like he's DPing a bunch or anything. It's backflip, I guess, right? People just don't know what to do about Yuel backflip, and he eats bigly off that. He uses a lot of backflip in this, certainly, right? Sure, okay. Let's take a look at Mom. Pick me up, I'm scared. I'm stuck in Matera butterfly pressure, and I must spot. I mean, that's quite the descriptive name right here.